Captain's Log Supplemental.
Hey Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do. I
You,
got one that I'm looking at every day.
you know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube, and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But you need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble-free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Okay.
Let's roll.
All right.
Let's
Very well.
roll.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes and Training Podcast. We just got done at a race. Who else raced in the car?
I'm Vicki.
I'm Jennifer.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you got.
It's a small car. We couldn't fit anybody else. Although
Now, this is
technically we did, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
We'll get there soon.
yes. Yeah, but this is the first race that we have attempted to do on our own.
Form, I would say.
What's that?
We attempted to perform and see what we could do.
Yes, we did. Absolutely.
So Miss
I
Jen,
think we did. Yes, sir.
where were we? How was the weather?
The weather was hot, not gonna lie,
It was hot.
but it was fine.
Yeah.
We were
It wasn't a
NJMP.
stinker though.
It wasn't. Like I mean, and you know what? The mornings were fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I think like early, late afternoon it started to get
No
pretty
rain.
yucky.
So that's all that matters.
no rain. That's a win for me every time.
Mhm.
I am not a rain person. Some people are. I'm not one of them.
Mhm.
But yes, we were at NJMP
Which track?
on the lightning track,
Nope.
the brand new
Thunderbolt.
lightning track. Yep.
Or
Oh,
the
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt track.
The Thunderbolt track, the brand new one. Loved it.
Mhm.
Loved it. Loved it. Loved it.
That's true. We should do a what did you guys think of the new pavement?
Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved it. Like my
Mhm.
tires were so sticky on that I was not even concerned about, losing grip. And that is one of my phobias. When I race, I did not have that
Yep.
this time around.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Jen, your
Agreed.
thoughts?
Same, exactly same. I wish that it wasn't as crowded I think I would have had more confidence to go a little bit faster, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it was pretty amazing.
Speaking of crowded, it was 147 cars for those keeping score at home.
That, you know what?
Just a
That's
little
just,
crowded.
I honestly think that they just did not have a cutoff. It's just whatever.
No, they had a
Whoever.
cutoff, but I think the software didn't stop. So they actually
Oh,
they had 160 something cars try to register. So
hmm
it was a bit of a
Wow.
mess. So as far as Bill goes with the new track, I think the grip was a little more consistent across the surface.
hmm
Noticeably
Yes.
faster going through turn 1
hmm
and
Hmm?
a little grippier going into the octopus. I think that's turn 8.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
gosh, it really needed that.
it did. Not to mention there was a patchwork transition that was right there that you just really tried to stick to.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that track was so nice this weekend.
And how about our last race? We had troubles and travails with the uh, head compression and transmission. How did that go, my dear?
So, let me think. We were having some issues getting out of the garage because the speed sensor was a little tricky, and I tried to put in a different speed sensor um, that was the next gen for the engine, but it wasn't going to work. So we quickly tried to get that speed sensor worked out because the tach wasn't operating correctly, and neither was the speedometer. But we made a couple adjustments in the car, and it worked. We thought there was a vacuum leak. There was no vacuum leak. And basically, I got the car to the track, and we just kind of had the mechanics and the guys do like a once over.
Transmission and head. What did we do?
Sorry. The transmission we blew, but first of all, we blew the head at Pitt, and that was because we did not have dowel pins in it. It was a stupid mistake.
Did not
It
help.
will never. It did not help. Did not help at all. So we end up sending it out, getting it worked, sending it back, and we did the adjustments on it, which is the valve adjustment. We put everything back together and made sure we had the dowel pins in. And it went back very nice and neatly. And then we had to trade out the transmission because at the last race we started losing third and fifth. So
I thought it was fourth. Might have been
no,
fifth.
it was third and fifth. Then we swapped it for, so right now that engine has it's a 1998 at the time engine. It's a D16Y8, and it had a coordinating transmission with it. So what we did was we grabbed the transmission from the 1993, the previous one, with the engine as a D16Z6. We took that transmission from there and kind of did a workover and put it on. Everything was working fine. I'm going to put that in quotes right there. But then again, that's where we picked up with the speed sensor issue and the tach issue. Everything kind of started going back together really well, except we couldn't get the speed sensor worked out. Found out the speed sensor was damaged, but you needed the speed sensor to activate the VTEC, if I have that correctly. So what we end up doing was we quickly ordered another one, and I still wasn't getting things right, but something happened at the track, and we had some people kind of do a once over on the engine, and they made a couple adjustments to it, and everything started operating. So we were set to go, and that's what we end up doing.
All right. Did you guys have any goals going in? Any
Drive fast. So my goals going in, as Bill says, if we wanted to win, we would have had different drivers and brought a different car. But he was always happy with hitting 50% in placement. And when we say that we we always bring other drivers to race with us and introduce them to racing because that's what energizes us. That's what we're about. We like to introduce people to racing. But this is the first time that we decided we were going to go for placement, see how well we did. And our goal was to definitely get out of middle pack and see how high we can get in our placement. And I think we did pretty good, just the three of us.
Don't steal the thunder. It's coming later. All right.
I know.
All right. Miss Jen,
Mm.
did you have any goals going in?
Not to mess up.
That's a good goal.
I wanted to just drive. I did what my goals were. I just wanted to drive a clean race. Like I didn't want to go off. I didn't want to spin. I didn't want to get a black flag. I was very cautious, but I was going fast. I was going fast, but not as fast I think as I could have. It was just my biggest concern was just driving a clean race.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Butts in seats, clean racing, no black flags, and as quick as we can with the hot pit.
Long stints for Miss Jennifer too.
Yes, she did. Yes. Longest stints ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're doing goals. We're not doing results yet. All right, now let's get to the results. 147 cars.
Wait a minute. Bill, what were your goals going in for this weekend? Since you have not had a butt in a seat for 2 years in that car.
Lies. But mine was, you both had mentioned you wanted to try and see what we could do at a race, and I've been pushing for which race to do that in, and this was basically our only opportunity until we have Lucky Dog. So I was saying this has to be it, and then I was strategizing how to do it, and we had a plan, and the plan was we were going to try for a 2-stop race on Sunday and a 2-stop race on Saturday. We can get into that when we get
we'll get into that one.
We can get into that. I had a plan.
Right.
It was a good plan until it wasn't.
Right.
So 147 cars.
Woo woo.
How did we do overall?
How did we do overall, Bill? Well, first of all, we did overall and we did class placement.
Mm-hmm. Overall,
go ahead.
We finished as far as I can tell, because race monitor is all kinds of weird. I believe we finished 26th. Overall.
That's not bad.
Nope, 83% in the as the math kids say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe you both know what we did in class, since that was what you guys were kind of concerned about.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What did we do?
Third.
Yeah. And why did we get third?
Because Vicki doesn't want to do Vicki doesn't want to do nut and bolts, because if she didn't touch it, then nothing could have happened.
Okay. So there's a couple things. All right, we'll get into that part. We'll get into the what went right and what went wrong.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't touch it, so what could go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I think job well done. I think we owe a congratulations to our friends over at the Brooklyn Bomb Squad.
Yes.
How do we put it nicely? They can stop wallowing around and see where their car doesn't belong, because they finally did what they should have done many.
Well, their car didn't break. Okay, they have a
many races ago. Because
they have a history of their car blowing up. So,
yes, but their car is blazingly fast.
It really is.
Car. It's like 10 seconds a lap faster than our car. So they're in C, we're in C. We got no chance. So get out of here. Go to B. Leave it alone. God, people are killing me. So,
yes.
So congratulations to them. Now leave. It's really where we need to be. So.
Yep.
I had a good time. It was a good time.
Did you? Oh, very nice. So, Miss Vicki, why did we come in third in C and not second in C, my
Well,
dear lady?
two things happened. Well, yeah, two things happened. We were seconds, if not just a short 1 minute away from coming into second.
We were
And
ahead by
right.
many laps.
One of them we got black flagged because my hood pin came disconnected, and that was a first. So that did not expect that one to happen at all. The second reason is because you want to do the whole fuel thing.
Well, we're going to get to that, but that's the
Yeah.
the
No,
reason
that was
the reason we didn't come in second was the hood pin. The reason we didn't have a
no,
chance in third was we couldn't do
Mm-mm.
our gas.
no.
Why?
Yes. So the issue when I had gone out on one of my last stints on what was my last stint? Second or last stint? I forget.
What day?
No, it was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It was Sunday. The pack had greatly thinned out, and we had a fuel conservation plan or a fuel plan where it was going to be see if you can push it for 3 hours, and that is 10 gallons of gas. But
Yes.
we have never driven the way we have driven at this race, and our gas was running out under the 2 hour mark. So
No, we went over 2 hours. We just couldn't go
barely.
2.5.
Right. So
which is what we needed to do.
right. So I was calling in for, hey, I am out of gas. And Bill's like, just drive. What's the worst that can happen? Which was coming
I was
across.
having ice cream. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, right. So I'm driving this thing, and then, I'm calling in and going, okay, well, it's still bouncing, but the gas gauge is still bouncing, but it finally settled on E. And I'm like, guys, I have got to come in. And they're like, we'll be right with you. And I had gone probably about 8 or 9 laps in fuel conservation, which everybody that I had worked to pass was passing me. And man, was I getting angry. I was getting so angry. And I'm like, I'm calling in, and they're like, we're getting ready. So
we were.
A few more laps go by, and I'm like, can you go like two more laps? I'm like, you guys are killing me. I'm yelling across, you guys are killing me out here.
The light wasn't on yet.
Do you know who I was racing next to? The freaking Buell-Lac. I was racing next to Amanda
is your goddess of racing, your aspirational
Absolutely.
dream.
Not the Buell-Lac, though.
So I was trying to give you time with your idol.
Well, I'm telling you what,
was that the light on?
There is no light. I don't know why people. I do not believe there's a light.
There's a light.
We are
That's
going
because
to
you
test
wouldn't
that
go
light.
far enough into it. You wouldn't give it for the team.
I'm telling you, when we had pulled in, our tanks are 5 gallons apiece, and it normally when we were doing it, it was like a fuel gallon or a fuel jug and a half or 3/4 is what it used to be. And I got to tell you, and they're 5 gallons apiece. We used 2 equal. We used all the 10 gallons that had to go in there.
Listen, just because you guys didn't used to use gas, don't go saying that's how it should be from this point on. If you listen, when you're in the car, if I want your opinion, I'll give it to you because I'm on the radio.
I had visions having to tow a shame because I freaking ran out of gas on the tank. And it was like, I was like second stint. And Bill had gotten in, and I'm like, listen, I'm calling on the radio. I can do more. I just need gas.
You can't get gas and stay in the car in Lemon. So you got to get out. So
no,
get out.
I know.
So
but
drive until the light comes on. When the light
I swear there is no light.
Light comes on. That's because you've never tried hard enough.
There is no light.
The light comes on. Then you still have 2 more laps.
It's a myth.
PittRace.
It's a myth.
Jeremy just used the light at PittRace because he was willing
Okay.
to listen to the team and the management and the goals of the team, unlike you, who overrules things because she
I
doesn't
have
believe in the
never,
magic fairy of the light
I
switch.
have never seen the light, so
That's because you don't drive far enough because you're like, oh, I've got to pee.
seen the light.
Or,
So
oh, it's too
never
warm
don't
in
believe
here.
there is one.
Or,
Vicki,
oh, it's too,
next time, go to the light.
Go to the
Right,
light.
go
We
to
still
the
have
light.
one.
Go into the
I
light.
told you to
That's
shut
right.
up until the light came on, and you
Well,
refused to shut up.
well, yeah. So I was at that point. I was at that point. So, and I did when I was huffing it around the track, and I did ended up fishtailing a couple times, especially around the octopus, and then coming out a second. I think I kind of hit that a little wide because I was just had so much speed going through there. But at that point, I focused on RPMs and my shifting. I was focusing on that, and then placement of my gears, which was sometimes tricky on the track because it sometimes is in between gears in one or two spots. For me, it is.
Okay.
So anyway, that's how my race was.
And shifting
Yep.
for you next time, and listen to my words. There's a low fuel light. Shut up and drive until you see it.
It's a myth.
Whatever.
I got to see it
because you haven't gone there because you're like, oh, my cool suit's not working up to my standards.
Oh yeah, and that was another
out.
one. So this race, I felt wildly unprepared because I think
Jen,
there was.
Have you heard anybody whine this much about actually trying to win this much? I'm just curious.
No, I was seriously trying. I was seriously trying. But
I think you did a fantastic job.
I think people are sisters. Kill me.
So, yeah, we couldn't get the Sentinel to work because that was an SD card issue.
Nope.
And then we couldn't find the SIM card. And then there was another one that we couldn't broadcast it, which was missing. And then we had cool suit the first day, but then something happened on the second day. We had no cool suit. And so, and then the other thing that happened to the car was that the helicoil in the head had broken half. Oh, this was an adventure. Or do you want to talk about that now or get to that later?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, the helicoil broke on the head of the engine in one of the bolts. So we had lost about a quart of oil. And we tried to fix the helicoil issue. And since half of it was broken in there, we were kind of in a time crunch. We figured, well, we'll do half a helicoil. And then we'll kind of hit it with washers. But as we were inserting the helicoil in there, the freaking tool broke also in there inside the head that kind of screws the helicoil in. So we ended up having a whole issue with that. So the next, but we ended up getting enough of a helicoil in there and washers to secure the top of the valve cover. And then we used some silicone to make sure it was down just to get us through this race. And then when we get back, we're going to have to reverse because we're going to have to reverse the studs. So the studs get screwed down into the head, but because it's aluminum, it's so fragile. And we're in and out there, I think.
The bolts get screwed down. You're switching the studs.
Right. We're switching the studs. And almost all of them are helicoiled anyway, which are basically fake threads that are pushed down in there. But somebody had made the point that for as many times as we're in and out on the top of this, it's just a matter of time that we're just going to screw it all up. So the mod is to reverse the studs.
Reverse two studs. Where we have bolts, we need to change to studs.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. My car language isn't quite there yet, so it's not
I don't think
fluid.
It's your car language. I think it's your. I did not get to rest up, and my post-race hangover is still going strong.
Absolutely, and I'm still on like girl time with the other kids that are here, so
which is fine.
Yeah.
Miss Jen, how did your driving go? You were in the car for a record-breaking period of time for you. How was it?
It was good. I was quite comfortable. I started for the first time this
Ever,
race
ever.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a big deal for you.
Because Vicky sucks it up all the time. She won't let anybody else
Oh, I
play.
love it. Tell me your thoughts on starting.
I really liked starting. I really did. Um I'm I'm comfortable in traffic. I'm not super fast in traffic, but I was really comfortable. Um there were a lot of cars.
A lot of cars.
I think it was taking my time and getting in the car.
Mm-hmm.
That made a big difference for me.
Mm-hmm.
And not feeling rushed and getting in there, making sure my mirrors are adjusted, just kind of having that time to do all that I just felt more prepared. So yeah,
So,
it went really well.
so did you notice a difference in the car, the way it drove Saturday to Sunday? You can
Not
say
really.
no. Okay. What about you, Miss Vicky?
What's that?
Did you notice a difference in the way the car drove Saturday to Sunday?
No, but well, the hood pin. But when I rolled in, I mean, the car performed great. It really did, but we were losing third again. Um,
I was
it,
talking mostly about handling, but okay,
oh, handling?
handling.
No, handling, it was amazing. Like I said,
Same both
the
days or
car,
different?
no, both days. The car stuck to it was a little bit more slippery, a little bit on the second day, but not really. But I think it was just also because
You were
I just
faster on the second day.
I was trying to be faster on the second day. I was really trying to push myself. Um, but that's just because the track was so nice and the tires just stuck.
Hmm. We had a
So,
tire pressure issue on Saturday that I fixed for Sunday. So,
okay.
and we did a rotate. But both of you set new records for yourselves. So nice
We
job.
did.
You did. So good job there.
Thanks.
Let's see. What else do we need to cover? Did we miss anything? Oh, theming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the 80s. We helped
80s.
out 3 p.m.
That's right. Chrissy's birthday celebration. The several of the teams got together and did a mid 80s theme, and some of the outfits were as bad as I remember.
Well, let's be very clear. It was very specific. It was 1984. So,
Plus or
yeah.
minus 2 years, because
Well,
we're just
yeah,
not that
maybe.
accurate.
But we had one of the cars was a Reagan and Bush election car from 1984.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris and Chrissy's car ended up being 1984, the Orwellian book.
Mm-hmm.
So they were very morose, and they had Chrissy's face all over the car. It was Big Sister
face.
With a frumpy face. Big Sister is watching you, and as you walked through the paddock, Chrissy's face was everywhere. It was taped everywhere. It was taped in my car.
I drove into town with it and got some rather odd looks.
Yes, that's true. It was in our truck.
Mm-hmm.
And they had I think our team was just, the year 1984, addressing MTV shirts and side ponytails and bright color and slouch socks. Jennifer had the Jenny 8675309, which was pretty great.
Did anybody get that was you, Jen?
I guess. I don't know.
She did, and then she went to bed.
Okay. Very well.
Yeah, and then we had a couple rock band people from 1984 and some movie characters from 1984. So it was pretty sweet. Six cars did a 1984 theme. It was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Since we're always in training, what did we learn on track? Skill, track knowledge, anything, Miss Vicki?
Focusing on my RPMs and
in what way? That doesn't say much.
Well, there's speed, and then there is going into certain parts of the track with a certain RPM that gets you quicker out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was doing. I was really working on my shifting. I was really working on my placement of car and my apexes because I felt so confident in my tires that it took that part off the table. So
Did you?
now I was able to focus on driving. And then I started thinking about, do you know, this is one thing, and I don't know if this has hit you, Jennifer, is that somebody can tell you as many times as they can about how to do something, how to drive something, and how to approach something, but you're not ready to accept it until you're ready to accept it.
Exactly.
Right.
I
And I
100%.
think this was the race when it became racecraft for
Right.
me. And it became more so watching the fast cars, and it became more so identifying who was the obstruction on the course and
And it
how
wasn't us
to
this time.
no, and how to I was looking more in front of me than I was behind me,
hmm
Okay.
which was great. And then making sure that I was in my proper gears going through the track. And then the other thing is focusing and not slowing on the uphill parts of the track. I can just plow through, like going into second, third.
Mhm.
They got that
Gears?
slope that goes uphill.
Oh,
Second,
second. I was
yeah,
into turn
second
two.
turn.
Okay.
Yeah, turn
I thought you were
two.
talking gears. Okay.
Yeah, no, turn two. It is like I really try to concentrate on going flat out and have as much as my, you know, foot to
Okay.
the floor as possible.
What about you, Miss Jen? Anything did you learn about the track or about your driving? You had some
Um,
good time out there, so you should have learned or had time to learn stuff.
yeah, well, I think we talked a little bit about shifting before I went out,
Hmm.
um, or after I came in Saturday or whatever. The
Yeah.
I I did try. I got to fifth on the straightaway
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
a couple times. So, like, talking to you, that was helpful, but I hadn't done that before, so that was a first for me. I mean, but you said even if it's just for a second, or just like a tenth of a second, like
Get
whatever,
there.
just
Right.
shift it, do
Get
it. So
Moa. Get
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Moa.
So I did that. I
Okay.
mean, immediately putting it to fifth sometimes, and then
Pull
taking it
back.
right back out.
Yeah,
But
it's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Question for both of you, same time. Did you guys were out there for, I think both of you went out there for the longest you've ever been on track total, because there was only three of us, except for Jeremy finished out on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
because we just couldn't do it. Um, we'll get into my gas plan later. Did you guys apply any of the stuff that we learned from our coach, Miss Jackie? Did you think about that? Because that was at that same track, almost same car.
We were
I
not.
really
Were we on that track? I don't think we were on that track. We were on the other track.
Oh, we were on that track.
No, it was that track. I really I did and I didn't. Like when I could, but there was so much traffic.
That's true.
Yeah.
It
When you
wasn't
start each
Yeah, and
time.
it wasn't like, you're just on there and you can like hit every turn and shift when yeah. So like cuz it was constant. Yeah.
That's part
Mm-hmm.
of starting, though, Miss Jen.
It is part of it is, and I really like that though. Like traffic doesn't bother me now.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
like I said,
And that's huge for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What about
So
you? What about you, Miss
yeah.
Vicki? Did you think about Miss Jackie's eloquent guidance, or did you think you were on a different track?
Uh, no, I did. I did. Um, I really tried to. One of the things that I really tried to work on, and I started to get pretty darn good at it, especially because of the fact that the track was so sticky, was I was braking much later going off the straightaway. So,
Into
and
turn
trying
one?
into turn one much later.
What
Like
about
I
four?
was two, three,
The right hander off the back straight.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get full off of that one. I was trying
No
to
lift? No brake?
out of the kink.
The one where you go through two and then the chicane for three,
Right.
and then you're going down, you go over
Oh,
the hill.
four.
Four.
So that back straight there, I was moments in four, but
Yep.
that's that kind of really weird spot where you're just kind of like in between the gear.
You're in fourth.
For me, well, I was as soon as you come out of chicane, I would go into fourth,
Mhm.
and then I would as soon as I would go into fifth, I drop back down into third, and then try to take that.
Okay.
Yeah, because of that dog leg.
I just stayed in fourth the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't because what that ended up doing for me is after I kind of hit that sharp because I was also in traffic most of the time, is that I would end up coming out of there feeling too slow. So I felt that if I kind of
Just go faster.
right, if I kind of downshifted into third and hit the apex, I was able to come out there. And then as soon as I did that, it was fourth all the way to the octopus.
I was
So
fourth.
I had stayed in fourth. Toward the end, I was staying in fourth pretty much the whole time.
But I also had my RPMs pretty high.
I only went to third in the octopus, going into the octopus. That was it. I was
Yeah.
fourth the rest of the track.
Yeah, but I was thinking my RPMs pretty high. And the only reason is that when I was coming into that part before you start going into the arch, before you start going into the octopus, the one right before that, I've hit those rumble strips a couple times because I was just
That's
put to
what
the
you're-
floor.
Good.
But no, I was like full on, like all four on the rumble strips. And I'm like,
Good.
oh, I don't like this.
Okay.
So
Well, remember what Miss Jackie told both of you, because I was there. Sometimes it feels faster to go to third, and it's not faster.
okay. All right. Because
And
if I was in
remember
fourth,
that.
See,
if I
look at
was in
that. Jen was
if I was
there.
my RPMs would drop all the way down to like 4,000, 4,800.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
But take it
I'll
all
make that
the way up.
adjustment.
Take it all
Right.
the way up. The
It
consistent
just
issue I
felt
see.
slower.
The consistent issue I see with you, my dear, is you don't take your engine all the way up to at or near the red line. You
Oh,
shift-
oh
you
no,
shift
I
to where-
was
I know.
absolutely. I actually overshifted or like over revved like
hit the
3
rev limiter.
times. Yeah, I hit it like 3 times. I'm like, oh crap.
So
So trying to get that nice balance.
So if I talk to past Vicki would
Mhm.
say there is no rev limiter. Now,
Mhm.
current Vicki says there is a rev limiter. So current Vicki says there's no low fuel light. Future Vicki will say, "Oh, the fuel light's on. I need to be in 2 more laps." But hey,
Yeah,
we'll
right.
work on her soon.
Well, we're working on that. We should actually take that car out to one of our HPDE trainings and then like give Jennifer like a full blast on with it.
Or our practice track. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. Practice. Well, whatever.
So there's this guy on our team. I don't know if you know him. It's because there was the 3 of us racing, and there was this guy on our team. Now he had this math plan, and the math plan was we were going to do 2 stops both days, and that was going to make up for our lack of speed and skill, and give us the ability to try and win C, even with our Brooklyn Bomb Squad friends, because we would save, almost enough time to catch them.
Mhm.
However,
You could have been so in second. Go ahead.
we were easily in second until the Bolt came
Yeah.
out, because
It
you were
wasn't the
ahead of
Bolt.
them. You
It
were
was
ahead of.
gas.
You were ahead of. Listen, okay, we're gonna argue this one out on the podcast. You were ahead of them by 2 or 3 laps, and you came in and went out behind them on the same lap.
That
It was
sucked.
the Bolt. Anyway,
So sucked.
so on Saturday, the plan was Jen was going to go for 2:15, which would be a new record for her. And Vicki was going to go for 2:15. And I was going to sit ever so slightly and try to go for 3 hours. And that was going to give us exactly what we needed to do a 2-stopper. However, Jennifer apparently has the bladder of a baby Barbie doll.
Coffee kicked in.
And has yet to realize that
hours.
pounding coffee is getting into the race car.
I had to pee for the last.
I gotta tell you,
entire
And
hour.
I called her. I'm like, "How you doing?" She goes, "I got me."
And what did I tell you on the radio when you
He's
said
driving, just
no?
like he told you, Vicki.
What did I tell you when you said I gotta pee, Jen?
I don't remember.
I said
Keep driving.
no. Well, yes, that was one of the times. I said go ahead.
You did.
I did. So if
I
Jen could have
fine.
made 215
Everybody
and
knows.
Vicky could have made 215, I was going to try to sip and slurp gas ever so slightly and go for 3. However, Jen went for 2. Vicky did go for 215, but I got in the car and I had to go for almost 3.5. So I looked at the gas.
You did not.
Listened to my
Yeah.
words.
Okay, go ahead.
I had to go for 3.5 in order to finish. So I looked at my clock, I looked at the gas and said, there is no way I can make
Right?
3.5. I could have made 3, but no way can I make 3.5. So I just decided to drive quickly and tell Jeremy, you're up next. So Jeremy came in and finished for us on Saturday. So Sunday rolls around. Now again, I need 215, and we could do it. And Miss Jennifer's bladder apparently grew like the Grinch's heart a couple sizes, but not quite what we needed. And then Miss Vicki said she's running out of gas, even though the light's not on. But whatever, it's fine. So I
It was a great race.
It's a
get
myth.
in the car, and I have to go further than possible. So I quick do the math and say, all right, I can't finish, so we'll go for fast laps, use up all the gas, and we'll just do a splash and dash. And Audra
Did you
will
wait
come,
for the light?
and Audra came in. No, because I didn't have because I didn't have a radio in my helmet because my beautiful bride packed the wrong helmet. But so Audra was going to get in. So we get off the track, and I think Vicky gets up top and flashes the sign, so I know to come in because we have no communications. And I give her the thumbs down, which means I'm coming in. And they go, and it takes them a couple laps because it just takes a couple laps. And then I go to get the gas in. We do the gas, and everything's fine. And I'm telling Audra exactly what's going on because there's 2 pieces of debris, large debris, on the track. And
Hey, one of them was a cone.
And I'm telling Audra, yeah, one was a cone and one was, I don't know what it was. I think it was a part of a decoration off a car, but it was huge. And I'm telling Audra, and she's just looking at me like, yeah. And then I go to put her in, and Vicky's sitting in the seat. I'm like, what are you doing in the seat? And she's like, I'm driving. And I'm like, oh, okay, this wasn't planned, but okay, that's fine. So Vicky goes out, and we didn't turn on we didn't put the radio on for her because A, I was confused as to why she was in the car at all, and B, I was baffled, and I just forgot to plug the thing in. So and then Miss Vicky comes in with the
Hood pin,
which cost us second place, but who cares? It's fine. And then
first loser.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. We weren't going to catch the Brooklyn Bomb Squad. The only way we were catching the Brooklyn Bomb Squad was if they did what they usually do, which is be a bomb. But they didn't. So yay, guys.
They deserved it for as many times as their car blew up on them.
I know. They've got an A speed car and a C squad preparation technique. But we'll talk to them on a future podcast because they're coming on soon. All right. Good, bad, and the ugly. Who wants to go first?
Okay. The good was I feel like we learned what we could do as a team, and I thought that was really great. The bad was we were third losers. No, there wasn't any bad.
Second loser.
We were second losers. No, there wasn't any bad at all because I feel like it was one of the best races that we ever ran as a team. Like, I mean, it was one of the better ones that we have run.
Got any ugly or story time?
I don't have any ugly.
How about story time then? Do story time. Give us a story.
I don't have a story.
Tell us a story.
My story.
Tell us a story.
I just said all my story. My whole story was the race.
How was it to drive for 4 hours, Miss Jen?
It was great. Like I said, I felt a lot better. Oh, you know what it was? Here's the story. So Friday, generally we used to do practice days, but we haven't done them in a while. And I asked if we could do the practice day on a Friday because I had not felt completely comfortable driving that car yet. And I think part of it is I just haven't been able to just drive it. Not race it, but just drive it. So I asked Bill if we could do the practice day so I could go out on the track. And it being a new track, I felt like it was a good time to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think that helped a lot,
Mhm.
because I felt so much more comfortable in the car on Saturday and Sunday.
Well,
Like, pardon?
we will be practicing at Thompson, so
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it would be good.
we've got new people. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for many reasons, but that was really helpful. And I came to you later on and I told you that
Mhm. I know.
I think that made a big difference.
See, now you told me that was really helpful, and I said, "Oh, that's great." I tell Vicki there's a light for the fuel, and she tells me, "No, there's not." Anyway, that was out loud, wasn't it? Shoot, I'm sleeping in the bathtub. All right, whatever. Miss Vicki, good, bad, the ugly.
Yeah. All right. The good. The good was the racing was phenomenal. The track was phenomenal.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
Phenomena. So it was it was just a great weekend. It was very tiring with the three of us though, and not having that like backup. But there was a I wouldn't say things went off the rails, but there were just some hiccups that kind of, didn't kind of really line up. But they kind of worked themselves out. And but the tr the best part was just the track, and that was just really nice. The hiccups, the things that were bad, again, our 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 data failed us. We
Didn't fail us.
we oh, it absolutely did. The
We
Sentinel
failed
system,
it.
yeah. So the Sentinel system, we weren't able to get sorted out, and then we ended up putting in what's the other
Apex
race
Pro.
monitor?
Apex
The
Pro.
Apex Pro. The Apex Pro never connected, so that data was just not able to be grabbed, and that was very frustrating. And then the cool suit going on the second day was disappointing. And then we had like a trailer issue because we rent RVs, and this particular RV that we had was it was just the weirdest. It was the weirdest trailer. It really was. It was the weirdest RV that we ever had. And it was run. Listen, I'm not faulting it. It totally worked out for us, but
Except for
you
the
know,
fridge.
well, it was run like a rental property. So it had like an 11 o'clock pickup and 11 o'clock checkout, which doesn't work for race weekends, you know. So I actually had to go pick up the RV at some store not too far away from the track and bring it in, which wasn't a big problem. But we just kept having a hard time setting it up. The fridge didn't work. And it just had like a weird setup about it. And it just didn't really feel that comfortable, but it was fine.
Story time.
Story time. Story time was that my stepsister came to visit, and my stepsister brought along her fiance. And that was really nice. I haven't really sat down to talk with my stepsister in a couple of years, and this is the first time meeting her fiance. So her fiance, Ed Coker, became part of our pit crew, and apparently he enjoys NASCAR, and this was a big treat for him. He really, really enjoyed it, and my stepsister, they stayed locally. They really enjoyed themselves. So
Awesome.
it was a nice little swoop in. Yeah.
All right.
I have no uglies at all. It was
Well,
just
that's
a
why we
really
have
great
ugly
weekend.
is story time. So
Yeah.
anyway, good. I would say you guys driving for long stints was quite good. And our buddies over at Waka Motorsports,
Yeah. Loved Waka.
finally finished a race without blowing up. Well, no, they did blow up, but they only did 3 head gaskets the weekend, but they did hundreds of laps.
And they made the checker, and they
They
haven't
did.
been able to make the
Both-
checker before.
Both checkers.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That making the checker in a lemons race when
Yep.
that's kind of a big deal. The reason is that you're not able to test the cars until you get to the track.
Most
So
times.
most times.
Yep. And I was making fun of them at the race, and I said, the post-race hangover is much, much harder when you actually race for more than an hour for the weekend. And then I checked in with them again today, and they said, "Oh yeah, it's worse." So the bad or low light, we had so much to do. We were so busy. We never got to do our this old car, so we need to get better at that. Otherwise, we might not get picked up for season 3 because we haven't even started season 2. And uglier story time. Let's see. What's a good story? What's a good story? I think the story is Brooklyn Bomb Squad finally gets out of sea because that car is blazingly fast for
Yeah.
sea. And can't wait to have them on. I think they're coming on. Recording wise, they're coming on next week. I don't know when it'll come out because we have so many in the box, but
Yeah.
they'll be coming on soon. So
yeah, they did really great. The themes were incredible this past weekend.
Yep.
And as for those who are not aware that we do race in Lemons, if you're first time listeners, and Lemons is a theming race. It's a great entry racetrack, a race series to get into. And there were some really, really great ones this time around. It was they brought all the stops.
Looking forward to the video.
Yes.
Indeed. All right, ladies, anything else?
No, it was a great weekend.
No, it was a great weekend.
Okay, very good.
I don't feel that exhausted coming out. I mean, I'm tired, but not like I'm going to be sleeping for 3 days. So
I have several pictures of you sleeping with a trophy for multiple days after a race. So,
that was
ladies,
awesome.
thank you. Next race for us will be at Thompson. Well, we might slide in a race or two between there, but next Lemons race will be at Thompson with guest driver and same car. So we've got to do a little bit of work. We're going to try to fix the transmission, right? We're going to fix the cool shirt.
Yes.
We're going to fix the Sentinel because I couldn't find the data card. It's no fault of the Sentinel. It's fault of our organization, and we're going to do a little trailer repair and some organization. So,
absolutely.
Can I make a request? Let's not wait till the end. Let's do it now. Let's do it now.
I agree, honey. Let's do it now. Let's get that Sentinel system all straightened up and finally get our data set. Man, and I'll do the engine stuff.
Okay. Very well. All right. I guess this podcast is over because we got to go do stuff now.
We have lots of stuff to do.
Now. Why wait till later when we can do it now?
I need to sleep first.
Yeah, I knew there's something. Anyway, how about transmission goes out this week? Can we do that? Maybe.
We can probably get one sent.
Sweet. All right. We're working our way towards happiness. All right. We are going to suck this race dry. We're probably going to have 4 or 5 episodes on it. So I apologize ahead of time. This is episode number 1, and there will be several more for each of the cars. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.